Hey, gentlemen.
Let's
We're
kick
alive.
it off with a double high five.
What the fuck?
Look at us coming in hot on the mics.
Let's see. Let me check audio. Let me check.
Mike.
Shit.
Have a little energy, you know?
Yeah, let's drink beer. Guys, we're drinking classy beer tonight. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Cheers, combo.
To all of you who are snowed in or living in the cold.
Edward Snowden?
Cheers to him. Whistleblower. That tastes awful.
No, it doesn't.
That tastes bad.
off.
That tastes bad.
Welcome to the Boss Battle Show, Episode 3. This is an interactive podcast in which you can watch live, or you can watch on YouTube, or you can listen
On your favorite podcasting service.
Actually, right now, just iTunes. I haven't put it on anything else.
Oh, iTunes is your favorite podcasting service.
I've been meaning to, but you know.
Yeah, well, on the plus side, if they're on that podcasting service, they don't know that I just said that, so everything's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless they're watching it live. They're like, oh, I'm gonna listen to the replay. Huh? Oh, Sajano, doggy.
Thanks.
Sweater.
Aw, thanks, dude. Pacific Northwest for way too much good beer. You know we live in northern Colorado, right? The land of beer.
The land of beer.
We actually...
Hammerheart.
Hammerheart, what up, dog? So, I am Adam Ronin. I am joined with my co-host, DJ Combo.
That's me.
And our third co-host, the Andy Richter of the Boss Battle Show.
Yeah, our Andy Richter over there.
You sound like a competitor. Boss Battle Gordy, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Let me check odds.
Spicy intro.
Oh, yeah, that's good. We switched mics because the lapel
Only
mics
Andy
sound...
Richter.
Fuck, Gordy. What?
I said I'm only Andy Richter anyway. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah. Shut your mouth, fatty. That's what Conan says, right? I don't know.
Like, I've never watched the show. I'm just assuming he says that.
Yeah, we switched to these mics because the lapels just didn't sound that good.
Better. Everything about
And
it
Tim's mic was
better.
causing our beard was just
My beard
fucking
was
up everything.
a big dampener.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage beard.
My beard was complimented today by Santa Claus, so I think it's pretty legit.
Was his fake or did he have a real beard?
No, he grew a real beard.
That's cool.
Big white beard.
Yeah, that's good. That's real solid of him to do.
Yeah.
For the kids, you know.
Well, for the kids, yeah, because it's not for the money, I'm sure.
Ooh, Sajano says the mic's so good.
You sound good.
The deep
Ooh, the
rumbling
lows
of my bowels. Gordy,
Yep.
let's do something.
Let's
Go to the Week in Geek. The Week in Geek. Let's go to the Week.
I like how you keep testing audio, like you're worried.
I wanted to see how loud that was.
Oh, yeah, we've never tested that, have we?
Yeah, I don't care.
That sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, with the Week in Geek, where we discuss the things we are geeking on.
Current ongoings and things for us.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening. In fact, there's a lot happening for a single one of us that doesn't normally have anything geeking. Mm-hmm. So I'll let him go first. Gordy. Oh, what's that say? What's that say?
FedEx delivery boy has split the name up.
It does, yeah.
I was like, wait,
Like looped it over.
Thank you for the follow, FedEx delivery boy. That begs so many questions. Do you work for FedEx? And what are your feelings on UPS?
Yep. Oops. That's USPS.
Oops. Gordy, go ahead.
Geek us out,
all
buddy.
right. So I've been playing video games this week.
That's for those of you that aren't familiar with the thing that is Gordy. This isn't a normal occurrence.
No, I don't play. I mean, I love video games. I'm passionate about them. I pay attention to them. I read the news. But I don't always have time, so I don't get in as many hours as other people.
Like, I'm passionate about eating right.
Yeah.
I do it occasionally.
Okay. So I played some. I've been playing Pokemon. Oh, PP Guy has gone Ronin.
PP guys, thanks for the follow.
Yeah,
Thank you
for
so
the
much,
follow,
PP
man.
guys. That also begs a lot of questions.
Well, actually, so I'm going to start off. I've been playing Pokemon Sun. I've been playing Steep,
Yeah.
We played quite a bit the other
We
night.
played Steep last night for like
Steep
3.5
is
hours.
Surprisingly, a good amount
It's
of fun.
actually really cool. Yeah.
Steep is deep.
It is
Steep is
actually,
surprisingly
it
deep.
is super
Yeah.
deep for a Steep game.
And I'm also playing Mario Run.
Oh, that's
like an
that's-
addiction right there.
Yep, yep.
I'm after those black coins.
Oh, what up, Ezrafel? Thank you for joining the stream. He's been playing Mortal Kombat. Does that blow anyone
Impossible.
away?
No. Shout out to him getting top 8 at that tournament he just recently got top 8
Oh
at.
shit!
Wasn't really paying attention to which one.
There was seven. There were 7 people competing.
I watched the finals because the finals had kind of an interesting moment where Jago Blake's controller stopped working. He uses a Hori FC4, and it just gave up.
Shit.
He was super
DQ'd?
down.
Did you get DQ'd?
So a lot of times in tournaments, sometimes the guy you're playing against can maybe give you like a reprieve. Like they'll be like, "Meh, go ahead and reset it. We'll keep going." But it was grand finals. Like I'm just gonna take the win and be like, "Yeah, should have brought some better equipment. It's your fault."
No fault to Hori though. Those guys are dope. Sorry, Gordy. Continue.
Yeah.
Well, I have I have questions because I wanted to start playing Pokemon Sun by borrowing your 3DS, but you fucked me out of that.
By plugging it in to a charger
To a
power strip that was turned off.
what is it? How is it? Compare it to Pokemon Go for me. And that's
Okay.
Compared to
So-
Pokemon Go, completely different.
Okay, Pokemon Go, you walk around, you see Pokemon, you throw balls at them and catch them. This, it's more about fighting. Like you catch a Pokemon, then you build it up, and build up its level, and then fight other ones.
Make a montage, like a training montage of him
montage.
doing like push-ups, and then he does like one-handed push-ups, and
One is involved, and the other is like a crazy excuse for a game.
cool.
Yeah.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Yep. What about you, gentlemen?
Combo.
I too have been on the Super Mario run ever since we went and saw Rogue One.
So many things to talk about tonight.
So we're sitting in the theater, and you're like, you might as well download it. And I was like, I ain't got no $10.
That's true.
Yeah.
I got in line for Rogue One at 11 in the morning because we're fucking cool and we didn't get reserved seating. And I was playing it. And
No VIP treatment for us,
no.
despite the success of our YouTube
It's like,
channel.
I got to the
stream.
theater. I was like, "Excuse me, have you not seen our mediocre, our extravagantly small?"
Recognize
Yeah.
who I am.
Yeah.
Do you know who you are?
He's
talking
like,
to?
"Oh shit, you guys got that fucking YouTube with that fucking small group of people that don't watch your videos?"
Yeah.
Anyway, and Tim came in, and I was like, "You gonna get Mario Run?" He's like, "Fuck no, I'm not gonna pay for that." And then 10 minutes later, he was paying for it.
Yep. Well, because the first 3 levels were free, so I was like, I'll give it a shot. Whatever. I don't care. I got time. It took forever to download.
He's
at
like,
the
"Ain't
theater.
Street Fighter,
I was like, ain't Street Fighter. I ain't playing it. What do I
Kuma
do?
in it."
Yeah. you got a Kuma? No. Pass. Don't give me whack. But then I played the first couple levels and I was like, all right, I'll buy it right now. So that's about all I've done since the release of Rogue One. What are you doing?
Oh,
Steeper.
dog, shit.
Open the people. Here's
wanna-
all the steepers.
You're opening a can of worms right now.
It's a rare time that we're opening.
I've been playing games. Well, first of all, let me pull up my list of here. So, I've been playing Super Mario Run. I've been playing Steep. I just been playing that the other day.
Yeah.
I've been just decayed balls deep into Dead Rising 4, and I've been playing. Well, I put this on hold to play Dead Rising 4, but I started Final Fantasy 15.
Nice.
Questions?
Uh,
good question. How is Dead Rising? It's okay.
Is it more of the same?
You know what?
Like you fucking tape a register to a baseball bat and it becomes a gun.
Yeah, kind of, but something's missing about it. Like, I'm enjoying it, but I don't give 2 fucks about the story. Like, I'll text while cutscenes are going. Like, I'm just trying to finish it, you know?
Is it still Frank West or whatever? Like,
Yeah. I was really I hated Dead Rising 1 and 2 because of the timers.
yeah.
You know, they had the timers. I don't like being rushed. I just want to fucking play my games, so I didn't like those. I loved 3. Like, I played the snot out of 3, and so I was really excited for 4. And it's cool, and I'm playing it, but like I'm not invested. It's I don't think it's worth $60. I hate to say it.
That sucks.
Final Fantasy 15 is really interesting. I've never played a Final Fantasy game before, so I have no frame of reference, but
Yeah, you can be like, oh, this is way better than 7, but not as good as 4.
I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that they're in like a strange fantasy United States.
Just driving around.
Just driving around with
grilling and shit.
weird, busty gas station chicks.
Fetus said he just showed up. He said start over.
Oh, okay.
All right, play the bumper. Let's go. Rewind it all.
So yeah, I've been just doing that, but now I'm balls deep in Super Mario Run.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try Final Fantasy, but it's a commitment, right? I mean, if
you
lengthy.
can't even finish Uncharted 4, there's no way you should dig into an RPG.
It's because of Street Fighter. The game ruined my life.
Yeah.
I had like a week off.
It's ruined my life too.
It has. It's ruined a lot of lives.
All of our lives. It's like retroactively just trickle down economics.
Yeah. No, I played like a lot of Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear over the last couple weeks, but that's just because I'm kind of waiting for the new patch and the new update for Street Fighter. So, I went the way of the anime.
Yeah, that's cool.
The air dashers, if you will.
So that leads us into our topics, I feel like. Let's just get it out of the way. First of all, guys, we're going to talk about Rogue One, but I need to know from the chat who hasn't seen it so I can gauge our spoiler talk here.
Yeah.
Put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen Rogue One. I will give you 10 seconds
to respond.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sama's seen it. Israel, you don't ever... Yeah, but you don't count. You don't do anything.
Haven't, but don't get
okay. Well, all right. A lot of people haven't seen it. What the fuck?
Nobody has seen it. Holy cow.
Okay. All right. So a lot of people haven't seen it, but who? Okay. Type a 7 in the chat if you're... if you get worried about if you're fucking, you know what I'm saying? Get scared about spoilers. If you're upset about spoilers, type a 7 in the chat. Like, this is important. This gauges how we're going to discuss.
Yeah. Is 7 just an arbitrary number, or is it because...
It's arbitrary. What are you getting at?
It's still arbitrary. You have no link to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying is
all these asterisks.
Yeah. Starface 21.
I can imagine that just means throw money at you. That's all I can assume.
Yeah, I guess so.
Those asterisks.
Okay, here's a new one. Donate $10 if you care about spoilers. So I know for sure.
Yeah,
so
I really want to be confident in that. I don't think we could do it without.
We could do it without.
We
could do it without spoilers.
Yeah, we can do it without
That's
spoilers.
fine.
Yeah,
totally.
We'll go as spoiler free as possible. But if you don't want to hear anything at all, then back away for just a moment, because that's how I was. I tried to go in with as little knowledge of the movie as possible. Like, I just wanted to let it just evolve.
So, Chalice, what number for I don't like Star Wars to spoil away? I don't know, buddy. That's a
$25. Yeah, that's
a $25 donation. Okay, well, we're just let's just talk about the experience, because I don't want to spoil things for people. I mean, I do, because I like getting spoiled. I just want to fucking ruin everything for you guys. But man, what a movie, right? Sama,
back us up.
A
little bit here. Yeah. So first off, shout outs to Mr. Adam Ronin, who did legitimately show up at the movie theater at 11 a.m. to make sure that we had not just seats, because we already had tickets. Tickets we had for a couple weeks.
Tickets we had, yeah.
Yeah, but to make sure that we had optimal seating, we weren't stuck in a corner, we weren't staring up at the screen.
I refuse to watch...
Bumped back.
I refuse to watch Star Wars without being dead center of the theater in prime range of all the speakers. It's how Gordy and I have done it for years, and it's how it will continue to go.
Right. Now, for Force Awakens, I didn't go with you guys on opening weekend. Remember, we went
No, it wasn't opening weekend. It was just...
But we went
opening night.
On opening night. Yeah, we went like that. Following Saturday.
IMAX or whatever.
So it was kind of interesting because you were there with like a crew of people who were all doing the exact same thing. And this was like a weird Star Wars heritage thing that I've never seen before. Because now there's this magical thing where you can reserve your tickets. And everybody elected not to. Everybody.
Actually, I asked a lot of those. Yeah, I asked a lot of people.
I was there when you did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to those two guys because I was third in line. There was a guy that spent the night there, which is actually, you might scoff at that, but that's actually some classic Gordy and Adam Ronin shit. We used to spend the night at the theater.
He was grizzled. He was tired as hell.
He's like, I slept in my car. I fucking fought off beavers and shit.
Yeah.
He spent the night, but it's funny because same thing for last year. Got in line, and it was all the same people. So I was like, oh, whatever. I remember you.
I was like the lone outsider until 3. Well, I got there at 3:30, 2:30, yeah, and then it was probably around 4:30 before people started to show up that the core people there didn't know
Hammerheart
already.
X donated $10.
Oh, Hammerheart dog.
Shit, I don't even remember what that
Man.
means. What did we do for him again?
Oh, what do we do for Hammerheart donating money?
I forgot what that meant. Does that mean we
Do we
don't
kiss?
spoil it?
Do we kill?
No, I
Do
said
we
kiss.
kill?
I did not say kill.
Gordy's wearing headphones. The voices in Gordy's head are a little dark tonight.
Gordy, can you get me a glass of water? Do you want me to kill you?
He's like, just grab some cyanide
Yeah.
before you. Don't worry about it. Yep.
So there was, just tons of people. Let me say, there was a time when there was no reserve seating and theaters were just theaters.
Yeah.
Like this is the episode 2 in 3 days, 2002 to 2005, and Gordy and I would spend the nights at the theaters waiting for Star Wars movies, and it was a fucking event. Like people would just show up because back then we'd have to line up
Cosplaying
outside, and there would be just hundreds of people lined up outside. People were cosplaying, people were having lightsaber battles out in the parking lot, kids, people bringing their action figures. It was so much fun. Remember, Gordy?
Oh, yeah.
Remember berries? I remember. But now it's just like, I don't know, it was the same for Force Awakens. The hype was still there, but people were just like rolling in later.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have got there at like 3:30 and we still would have got the same seats.
The exact same seats, yeah.
Yeah.
It was one thing that was really cool is this guy had a projector attached to his cell phone.
Yeah.
So we're like, all of a sudden we look up the screen and we're like, what the hell is that? Is that Force Awakens? And he was like just projecting it onto the main screen. It was like just all stretched out and blurry.
It was amazing, though.
So then he went and got like a piece of cardboard from the event staff and then like sat it down on the front row and then played Force Awakens for us while we were sitting there watching. Like he had Bluetooth speakers and stuff, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was super dope. And then, people started getting hype as the time went on. Holy shit, VP Ryder, what up, dog? That's what's up. Joel in his house. Thank you for joining, my friend.
Okay.
And the movie started, and you know what? Star Wars affects me in quite the way. Like I get very emotional, and I would say that there was like 2 or 3 times in this movie where I had to like hold back the old tears of just pure nostalgic joy.
Right. Now, not a spoiler, but this Star Wars movie doesn't have the scrolling.
There's no crawl.
There's no crawl. To
Yeah.
it, which was weird. Like, it even just kind of fell off for a second. Like, it starts, and I was like, yeah.
I knew it was coming. So
I knew it was coming too, but I was like, you still want it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what they did, and it didn't bother me, but it felt strange. I was like, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Ring! Planet. And I was like,
VP Ryder has gone Ronin.
oh, thank you, my friend.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
buddy.
He's got some free time. This is like off season for his channel.
That
right?
is true. Yeah, you can't ride the motorcycle on this crap.
Yeah.
So the movie itself, I think, was just phenomenal. If we can just break it down just a little bit without revealing much here. I remember. It's more member berries. You even know what that's from?
No idea
I
what
keep,
you're talking about,
I keep seeing people talk about member berries, which is like, oh, you got member berries when you're like remembering something nostalgic, and they have a picture of like these grapes that have faces on them, and they're member berries or something.
No.
I don't know.
I
No idea.
That is.
Yeah. Right, Israfel, there is no crawl because they wanted to separate the the official saga movies from the standalone. So the standalone movies will not have crawls.
Because apparently we're not smart enough to figure out that they're...
Oh, no, we are.
things.
It's the general public that...
I don't know.
That there was still, even though all these precautions were made, there were still people that thought Rogue One was Episode 8. Like, there's just the people, human beings are stupid.
It's true.
The uninformed consumer is like, oh, a new Star Wars movie? Can't wait to see what happens with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
But I remember
What's up, buddy?
when the movie started and they were, doing things and the stormtroopers came on screen, it like fucking just like a wave came over me because I was like, holy shit, this is the first time I've seen these stormtroopers on the screen ever in the big screen because I didn't see the original movies in the theaters.
Right.
I saw the special editions, but
Yeah, just like the remastered one or whatever. Yeah.
But I was like, and I leaned over to Gordy. I was like, Gordy, stormtroopers. And man, there's so many things I want to talk about, but you're all a bunch of fucks that haven't seen the movie yet.
No. No. One thing I can say safely, though, is that it would have been very easy for them to make a movie that just completely tarnished the saga, right? But they were able to actually tell a side story and still improve the strength of the overall main 7 that we've seen so far. Like, it filled in holes, it told an emotional story for characters that most people have no background with whatsoever, and they did it in a very, like, true to form way. Like, it was, new directors, new cast, and it was still like, nope, this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
I accept it as Star Wars through and through.
And what's cool about it is I feel like this movie only enhanced the experience of A New Hope, Episode 4. Like, immediately when I was done with it, I was like, well, now I got to watch Star Wars. I got to watch the original. And it's such a perfect addition to it even enhances Episode 3 for various reasons that we won't get into. But there's a lot of callbacks to the prequels, which made me happy because
Jimmy Smits
the prequels
rolling in. And
Jimmy Smits
stuff,
is in it, but the prequels, no bones about it. We're not all big fans of the prequels. They weren't very good, but they happened. They're part of the canon, and we have to accept them. And I don't like how I felt like for the longest while, because there's not even like an inkling of the prequels in Episode 7. In Force Awakens, I was like, man, are they just gonna like pretend like these movies didn't even happen?
They're just gonna X-Men 3 it.
Yeah, right. But I was like super excited to see that they tied it together with Episode 3 and Episode 4 and just made it one cohesive experience.
Yeah, they bridged a gap that. The key to this is that the story is just as strong without it, yet they were able to make it stronger with it. It was really enjoyable. It was emotional.
Oh, totally.
Emotional.
Oh, it was so good.
Enjoyable.
It wasn't as emotional for me as Force Awakens. Obviously, there was a couple big moments in that movie.
If they haven't seen it by now, then
those ones really hit me right in the old gut.
Yeah, and that's true because when
me.
we saw Force Awakens, like you didn't say anything for like an hour.
Yeah,
we went and sat down at that restaurant. And you're like, I'm ready to talk about it. I think. What up, Lewis? Welcome to the stream. Member berries is a South Park thing. Oh, that explains it because I haven't seen this season of South Park yet. Misa, Jar Jar Binks, Misa, blah, blah, blah. Yes. What was I gonna
there
say?
is no Jar Jar in this. Just makes you feel good.
No, Jar Jar aside, I wish though that they would stick like a gun in the fucking background just to be like, oh, see, this is the same universe. Like I get it.
Yeah, they were just like, nope,
no gun.
they're gone. Yeah, they died. There was an explosion. It's over.
But what's cool also, I feel like, is because I've played this moment out in my head a million times when I was a kid. Because, the opening crawl of Star Wars is like, the rebels have successfully stolen the plans for the super weapon, the Death Star.
You're like, how?
And I'm like, so, how? And I'm like, well, let's make that up when we're kids with the action figures. Well, we're the rebels stealing the Death Star.
Were you ever
plans.
close?
No.
Nah, I don't think so. Yeah.
But I can say that I'm pleasantly surprised and pleased
Andy
with...
Pino has gone Ronin.
Andy Pino.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Oh, what up?
Yeah, but dude, Donnie Yen. Wow.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen is always
actor.
such a badass.
Donnie Yen was a huge standout for the film. He's fantastic as Chirrut something. Baze Malbus, his cohort. There's a lot of talk from what I've been reading that that's supposed to be like an unspoken relationship, much like Dumbledore and what's his face from.
Oh, they get a little.
That's what I'm reading. There's no official confirmation, but and then when I read that and I look back at like certain scenes, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
so bring a
okay with that.
bring a little sexual diversity into the Star Wars universe. I don't care. That's fine.
Totally fine. I will say that the Baze character, like, just had this like embracing moment where I was like, I think he should be like Cable. He just felt like Cable, like the first time he comes out.
The short little Asian guy with the long grizzled hair who has like the droopy eye.
Yeah.
You're like, that guy should be Cable.
Yeah, no, he just pulled it off for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, because he got the gun and everything's attached and like, he's just super badass. And I was like, he could do it. He could pull it off. I'd like to see something like that.
Yeah.
For the Deadpool movie when they do finally make it occasionally.
Because we do know that Cable will be a part of that. Because they said so at the end of the movie in his Ferris Bueller thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
Well, that is a Ferris Bueller reference. I didn't realize that until now.
No, don't be sorry, Hammerheart. I love you, dog. Don't be sorry.
All apologies are in the form of $50 donations.
don't say that. He'll do it.
No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. No.
Do it. I dare you. Yeah. So Rogue One. We won't banter about it too much. But Gordy, was there any standout moments for you? Like not in terms of the film, but just like where you sat back and you were like, "Holy fuck." Did you roll up at all?
I did. I will, I hate spoilers more than anything, so I won't spoil anything, but the movie does touch base on excitement and other, emotions. So there are a few parts in it that did make me well up. And I had a long lifetime attachment with the original saga. So approaching this movie and seeing set pieces, characters, droids, that callbacks to those right there on the screen, that alone was just like super emotional and exciting.
A lot of times people talk about, oh, this movie had too much fan service. Oh, the fan service this, fan service that. I think that this was a perfect example of how to handle fan service.
Right. Like the two thug guys from the cantina.
Yes!
Just
Dr. Evazan and Walrus Man. And Ponda Baba.
So just very small cameos that you're like,
yeah,
what? That's
I was
cool.
so stoked when I saw that. Because, I just wanted to pop by and wish you well for tonight. Dealing with a stomach bug? Oh, dude, feel better. Thank you so much for coming in. Take some Pepto-Bismol, you know what I'm saying?
Get them poops out, homie.
Get them poops.
Get them poops out.
Yeah. Take care, brother.
I do feel better.
What's happening there?
Hammerheart just donated $1.
Thank you so much, dude.
49 to go for that apology, mister. You're on your way. So funny.
Without saying anything, there is one particular moment in the movie towards the end that just about pushed me over the edge emotionally. I couldn't even handle it, dude.
The ending as a whole, the way it unfolds is like super action packed, super emotional, just like this huge like cataclysmic like thing going down and just leading into the final moments. And
dude, and you know how it ends. Like, you know that they get the plans.
No one knows they get the plans.
Shut up, fuckface.
Nobody knows they get to plans.
You know, because you've known since 1977 what happens. But there was times where I was like, oh my god, they're not going to get the plans. I was like, they're not going to get the Death Star plans.
10 plus times I was like, I know they make it. Are they? What? Are you sure they're going to make it?
Waiting for Pruneface to come back to Star Wars. Pruneface?
Pruneface.
Are you thinking of Dick Tracy?
Dick Tracy?
Anywho, so Rogue One's a fantastic experience. If you guys have any questions or want to talk about it a little bit further, post them in the thing. But we'll move on to the next topic of discussion that we're kind of, we're really big on right now. And I think the world's kind of into it. But let's move on to Super Mario Run. We kind of touched on it. We've all been playing it pretty religiously. It is a mobile app out on iOS for free to download or $9.99 for the full version.
Right. So the free to download is just the first like 3 like level 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and then that's it.
Yeah, you don't get the castle or anything either.
But there's no ads or anything. I mean, it's the full experience. Like once you're in there, it's just like playing a regular old video game. It's not like a mobile experience where they're trying to nickel and dime you and stuff.
Yep.
Just once you try and get to the castle for level 1, 4, they're like, hey, if you want to play this, you got to pay. That's all there's to it. If not, go back and do your other stuff.
Now, when the game was first announced to have a price point a couple weeks ago, and they said the game will come out at $9.99, we were all kind of taken aback. We're like, holy shit, that's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, we all felt that way. Now, having played it, what do we think?
So we were talking about this earlier. The $9.99 seems to create this backlash because for some reason it's like we just have this like acceptance that apps are either free or they're like $1 and we should never pay more. But we're not judging it off of the content that we're given. It's just we're basing it off of other games and other experiences. So like we can't accept the fact that something's $9.99, which is genuinely, it's actually relatively cheap for a mobile experience. A lot of people will play a game that's got all kinds of purchases in there and they end up, 60, 70, 200, $1,000.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, everyone will be like, but all these mobile games are free, but they don't ever realize then that they are actually nickel and diming you for, you're out of lives for the day, buy more lives or share with your Facebook friends or do this and that, this and that. And you actually end up spending like console prices, $60 for, your experience. And
there is none of that.
There is none of that. Yeah. None that we've discovered yet. And I don't think we will. You can use you use your coins to buy stuff to build your kingdom,
right?
And you probably can buy extra coins, but I haven't even.
I haven't seen an option to purchase more coins.
That's cool.
Coins are ample for starters.
Well, I mean, that's the name of the game.
Right.
Really, kind of.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting, is that you can purchase the things that you need, but you just have to unlock them, and unlocking is through time, actually playing the game and succeeding in it. The closest thing that there is that's a little different is in order to unlock Toad, you have to just link it to your Nintendo account.
Yeah, because there are 6 playable characters. I didn't actually know that until yesterday. But there are, just like a Mario game, it's that started back in Super Mario Brothers 2. There's Mario, Luigi, Toad, Yoshi, Princess Peach, and then Toadette. Whoever the fuck that is. So you to unlock Toad, it's like, this is what I was just talking about on the Ronin Dojo episode 3 podcast we did, where I really like the notion of unlocking characters in games.
Yeah,
this is cool to me.
They didn't give us everything right out of the gate.
Exactly. So you unlock Toad by linking to your Nintendo account. So that's like the kind of like, hey, do this for something a little extra. But that's, whatever.
Right. And I think like part of the other response to it was people are like, 6 worlds, $10, not going to happen. It's not enough content. Once you play the game, you realize that there's a lot of playthroughs necessary, and the game kind of changes. So I would argue those 6 worlds are kind of more like 24. I'd say it's kind of like, because you have to go through and get all the pink coins.
Yes.
You have to get all the purple.
Yep.
All the black, and then you can go back and compete against your friends for just overall high score.
And that's funny because Gordy, who's being mega completionist with this, has now. Tim's right. So there's 5 pink coins to start. This is reminiscent of other Mario games where there's the gold big coins you get, like it started in Super Mario World. There's 5 pink coins, and then once you get those, there's then 5 purple coins that are in different spots that are a little bit harder to get. And then once you get all those, then there's 5 black coins that are really hard to get.
Right.
And then you get like I've got all the coins. And Gordy's been completing those, and you've got all the coins for the first world. Yes.
Yeah, I have all the black coins for World 1, and I'm working on World 2. And the other thing is, and it is challenging, it's super challenging to get those black coins.
What's that say?
Bacon Ninja 15 has gone Ronin.
Oh, dude, fucking classic
like
Bacon Ninja. Thanks, dog.
Yeah. So it is super challenging, and it adds depth to the game. It really pushes you to think new ways. I also like that it shows the top 3 people who have the most coins on the level. So if you're friends with, like your other friends, you can compete with them and try and get more coins than them. It's also like another level of challenge.
But
there's that, and then there's the other element, which is the Toads.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple. There's a few different modes in the game. It's not just the standard mode. There's a mode called Toad Rally, where you compete against like AI versions of other characters, I guess it would be.
I don't know if they're AI or if they're just ghosted versions of
it could be
another person.
Yeah, it could be ghosted version. We're not really sure how it works. But anyway, you compete against them in the level, and whoever does the best, you can get like thumbs up and stuff from spectators, AI spectators, based on your performance.
You're collecting points along the way.
You're collecting points and coins, and at the end of it, whoever has the most coins and points gets these toads that you can put in your kingdom, and there's like a few different colors.
Super stressful. Especially like if you can see their ghost out ahead of you doing well, but then at the very end it tallies up everything, and like you can see like you're up against like little Johnny, and it's like and you're like, it's so close.
And 9 times out of 10, little Johnny whooped your ass.
Yeah.
It gets tough. But that's super cool because then you use those toads to be able to buy things in your kingdom with and then unlock other characters.
Other characters, yeah. We looked at that today. They're really far out.
I was like super surprised at their first mobile. I mean, Mitendo or Mitomo or whatever didn't really count to me. That was dumb.
You can message your friends.
Sweet.
Don't you want to message your friends? Yeah.
But I was like, okay, Nintendo, this is a solid offering. Tons of replay value. Like I've put hours into it. I was in line for 8 hours, and I played maybe like 4 of those hours on Mario because before you guys even got there.
Oh yeah.
And I can't even imagine how much time Gordy's put into it at this point. If you had to venture a guess, what would you say?
Actually, not that much.
He's like, I get them all on my first try, you fucking scrub.
12 minutes, 13 minutes, maybe.
I've put in about 4 hours now.
Yeah, well, for a mobile game, though, that's pretty cool.
Well, for Gordy, 4 hours of gaming that's the most he's put in 2016. That's crazy.
Chalice, Super Mario Run for Android win. I want to bandwagon as well. Okay, so that's a good question. to my understanding, it's a exclusive to iOS for an amount of time, and then they'll put it out on Android. But Gordy just read something before we went live that it's never coming to Android. What did you read?
No, as it was a news article about stocks and all that, and
Stocks?
Stocks.
Oh.
Socks.
And people,
Socks and shoes.
investors are speculating that they're just putting it off on Android, and because they can't figure out how to create a consistent experience across 10,000 different versions of a phone.
Oh.
All you Cricket phone, Metro, PCS using sons of bitches out
Yeah.
there ruining it.
So I'm sure they'll get something out there, but it's going to have strict restrictions on what version of the OS you have and how new your phone is.
Yeah.
We experienced
Speaking
this.
from experience, when
Yeah.
we made our app Ronin Dojo for both iOS and Android,
Searched on the store now.
yep, download now. For the Android, it was a nightmare to get it working, and it looks like crap on some versions because there's so much optimization you have to go through. It's very difficult.
Yeah, and like some versions, like they seem to be okay, and then you go to another one, and like the screen is very blown up, which wouldn't work for this game at all if you had.
No,
that.
yeah, it has
So
to be
It's
perfect.
got to be
The
perfect.
coding for this is going to be a nightmare. I know they do have an outside developer who built it. They said this wasn't built directly in house by Nintendo.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which was probably smart. Like have somebody who's maybe more experienced with mobile development.
Oh, you know who I
Yeah.
bet it was? I bet it was DNA.
So it's probably
It
was
yeah.
DNA.
Oh, okay. Because they have that partner, which is weird though, because I didn't see any of their branding anywhere. Maybe.
Is that why text clips off screen on some Android phones? Yeah, because
Yeah.
it just depends on what it's created for initially. And a lot of programs, especially the ones that we used initially when we started to develop our app, you optimize specifically for iPhone, and then it just kind of ports over to Droids. And
Yeah.
it told us, it's like, hey, your app works on many phones.
Our
or
apps
whatever.
our app works on all Android devices, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing about what we experienced with the iPhone, so when we made it for iPhone, iPhone's optimization is really good at no matter what size iPhone you have. It looks the same on every device. Androids, there's so many different kinds of Androids. There's, the Samsungs, and then there's like the weird Cricket ones, and then there's like all kinds of, there's just hundreds of different Android phones, all with different optimization and screen sizes. So, our app
Processors.
And different processors, different. They all run a different engine. They're like, this one's on bubblegum, and this
Yeah.
one's on candy blow pop.
Yeah, so
or whatever.
like
their
on
weird
our
names
app,
are.
cuts off the screen on some phones, and that's why, because we just came out with a small update for iOS, and I just haven't put out the update on Android yet, just because it's a daunting experience. But we'll get to that eventually. But yes, so that's I am curious how they'll handle that, because it has to be primo. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they will though. Like Angry Birds and all those other big name apps, they're all on all the things, so I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Now, the game has quite a bit of financial success so far, but it sounds like there was some early over projections on that. Gordy, I don't know if you can find an article on it or not.
Yeah.
Help me get some facts on this one so I don't sound like an idiot. But they were projecting,
Good luck!
Yeah. But no, they were projecting that this game was supposed to make like $60 million out of the gate or something, which is just a crazy amount of money when you consider, a mobile game making $60 million that quickly.
Mer Manager has gone Ronin.
Oh, thanks, Manager.
Manager.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follow.
Could be Mr. R Manager.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Could be any.
Yeah.
So many R's in there. But then they were saying that day one they thought it was 25 million. And then
I'm here. The weighing thing was optional, though, correct? You know what? It doesn't matter because you're by yourself. We don't have to know if your weighing is out, so you can pull it out. It doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, that's up to you, man.
It's all good.
Yeah, no worries. But then they were saying that it's probably more in the ballpark of 12 to 15 million that it made day one. So it did beat Pokemon Go in terms of cost.
Well,
Pokemon Go
that's
is
because
free.
Pokemon Go is free, and that was ad revenue. Super Mario Run is $10, so of course they have to. That's a significant less amount of interaction they have to have. Pokemon Go basically broke app stores all over the world because it was astronomically successful in terms of app downloads, but that was completely
But
free.
I guess analysts and stuff were disappointed. So whatever their projection was on this was substantially higher, which is I guess what caused some of the investors to probably be a little upset with the effort, which is crazy to think. It's like, hey, you made $12 million today, and somebody's like, fuck.
Yeah,
That's crap. That's a bunch of crap.
If we made $12 million on Ronin Dojo, we
Day
wouldn't.
one.
This set wouldn't look like fucking half finished.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, man. Maybe though soon, because we've got some plans for that coming up soon. So get out your wallets.
Bits and pieces laying around. Gordy, hit us with facts.
What do you got?
Well, I don't have like right here, it's saying that it helped generate around 2.85 million downloads on launch day. But what it looks like, I'm seeing some negative mixed in with the positive here. Like, they think the sales are really big, but the investors are not pleased for one reason or another. And there was like a big 18% hit to the stock, Nintendo stock, because of it. And it doesn't reflect from gameplay or anything like that. It's because they don't think it can make as much money as they want. Because it isn't nickel and diming everyone. The business model is annoying people.
There's a cap
One
at
and done.
$10. Yeah. You either get that $10 or you don't get that $10.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've checked out a few sites earlier. I'm getting like kind of mixed information on what the projections were, but the analytics and what's happening aren't matching up. I'm not really sure. It's going to be another week before we get solid details.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's super early.
Yeah, for sure.
But this makes an interesting point, though, is that Nintendo is always accused of not giving fans what they want. Right? You don't give us this, you don't give us that, and we always complain about it.
Well, Nintendo has a pretty significant resume of failures and fuck ups.
Right. Yeah, they've always
That's all subjective opinions,
of
course.
Yeah, they've always done things Nintendo's way for sure. But what if at some point, and obviously they made this decision, that if they were like, hey, what if we said, okay, let's do, blank, or let's do, this is a download. If you want Peach, you got to spend $2.99. If you want Luigi, you got to spend $3.99 because he's a popular character. And what if Nintendo was like, no, it's $9.99. You can unlock it all. End of story. Moving on.
It's a game. It's a game experience.
Right. They're like, Nintendo doesn't do DLC like that because they never have, really, other than repurchasing.
Like Smash Brothers had typical fighting game DLC, $5 for a new character and stuff, but that's, pretty...
Right. But other than like having to like rebuy things from the store over and over and over again, they typically haven't taken the same DLC trends that other companies have. So what if they were like, no, the game's $10, end of story. Like, everybody loves Mario, everybody will buy it, we're confident in that.
And I think it's such a great example of how... Here's the thing, is it made me really excited about Nintendo. I was like, oh shit, they're making a solid move here? This is a great offering for a mobile experience, which, I may be so bold to say, makes me very confident in what they might be offering up in March for the Switch.
We talked about it just briefly when we were waiting for Rogue One to start, and I felt like this gave me a new hope.
Oh, fuck, Timmy.
Oh, you like that?
I love that. That's good. Damn, dog.
But it did. Like, I felt like they put out a fairly quality effort at a reasonable price. I enjoyed playing it. It's Mario. It's like, it's pretty hard to make a bad Mario experience, but...
Is it? We'll get into that later.
Yeah, I know, right? But I loved it. I would be confident handing this to a small child to play, or, my 30-year-old self instead. No, I'm playing it.
Yeah, I'm super confident in the Switch. I'm not exactly sure what to expect. We'll find that out on the 12th when they do their Switch thing.
Which Switch
yeah.
thing we will be talking about actually here. We're going to do that.
Yeah, when Nintendo's going to do their Nintendo Switch Direct is what they call them, I guess, where they show off all the specs, all the games, all their launch stuff, all the details we want to know. They're going to do that. I think that's going to be like 8 p.m. some time zone here. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and just live stream that and talk about it as it happens. Yeah. So if you guys want to mark your calendars and come hang out with us for that, and we'll all talk about it together.
Yeah, it's like a Wednesday or Thursday night, something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll get together and do that and just kind of see like if Nintendo's starting to finally push in the right direction. Instead of writing like some scathing article full of, as you said, hyperbolic statements that are crap.
That's what everybody's been so burned by Nintendo so many times in their own respective ways that I think everyone just expects the worst from them now, and I think we're all guilty of that as well. But I'm pretty confident that things are kind of on the up and up, maybe for the big end. Maybe the Wii U's failure was a much needed
wake-up call
turn of events.
Yeah,
Gordy, weigh in here.
Agreed.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I
moving
really
on.
am.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to our next topic here. So this, as we kind of mentioned on Twitter, this is actually going to be our last show for the for the year because holidays and things are coming up.
You guys be with your families, and
we'll
be with our families, and
we'll still have videos and stuff. But we're going to kind of wrap this last show up by talking about just kind of recapping some of our favorite things that happened in 2016 in media and what we're hoping for 2017, and then we'll get into some classic game stuff and what have you. Yeah.
That's a transition, folks.
I don't know. I'm not really sure how to get into it. 2016 wrap up. Let's talk about some of our favorite games that happened this year.
I don't know if it's necessarily like my favorite games, but 2016 for me as a competitive gamer was like my most involved. You could argue best year. It was just had its
Really,
ups and
because I think you
downs.
won way more tournaments in 2015.
I did. I actually won in 2015. Yeah. But 2016, like, I got to travel. I got to meet people. I was in, Chicago and Los Angeles and Vegas. And, I'm hoping that 2017 just brings more of that.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
hope
sure.
to, invest myself into it a little bit more than I already have because I want to be more successful than I was. I didn't have a very successful first year. So I'm super excited to, branch into other games like Tekken. I'm so excited for Tekken.
Is there a release date on that yet?
Not according to my Amazon pre-order that's been out forever.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like I said, it went from end of this year or end of next year to March 31st. So I think it went from one placeholder date to another, but it's still supposed to be like beginning of the year. I think it looks great. They've added like online tournament brackets within the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just super awesome, and you can make it like different formats. So you
I
can
always
have,
thought
like,
that was silly that games don't already have that built
it's
in.
stupid.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to have that. Even as basic as like King of the Hill should be in there, which like Mortal Kombat just has a staple. Killer Instinct added later on, right? The King of the Hill thing.
Yeah.
You should always have that lobby with multiple people watching matches and having fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm really excited for Tekken, and I'm just excited to continue competing.
Yeah, I feel that. Israfel wants to know if you like Knight Rider.
I'm not doing KIT. I have free room and board if I go, but I kind of just decided against it. I have to go to California at the end of January, and I just decided to put my funds and energy elsewhere. Like I truly like to dedicate all my practice time to every game I'm playing before I go to a tournament, and with that one being kind of early in January, like I knew I'm gonna be like 1 weekend is Christmas, the next one is New Year's, and then I'm like, I have to fly out next weekend, and I haven't practiced at all.
Yep.
So
For sure.
it's just bad timing on it. So I'm just going to skip it, and I don't think it's going to be really huge tournament either. Just normal KIT size. So.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
And it's not on Capcom Pro Tour, which is where my focus is at.
Yeah.
I know I'm not qualifying for it, but if I'm going to put my effort and my money into
Now
it,
with that attitude.
exactly. That's the thing. It's like if I'm going to put my money and my effort into it, I want to make sure it's going to have some results as well.
For sure. Yeah. I think I stand by your wants to compete more in 2017. I would like to also do that, but there's just not any games coming out that I'm like really passionate that I want to dig into. Like maybe if
That's my life right now, man.
Yeah.
Is like Street Fighter Season 1 was just whack. Just whack.
it was
Look.
super whack.
So I'm
that
really
turned me off
hoping-
to the game. I'm excited for Season 2, but
Yeah.
let's be real. It's not going to like kick me into the competitive scene, and even if it did, I'm so far behind the curve that I don't think I'd be able to catch up.
It looks like it's going to be a slightly different game so far from early patch note leaks. But that being said, is it still the game that I want to put all my time and effort into? I like it, but it's got massive flaws.
Yeah.
And then there's other games out there like, Blaze Blue that I play a lot of, and Guilty Gear, and then
Which are really cool games, and I love playing them, but they don't strike me to enough where I want to put in, like 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm like, I need to get like
I really like the game, but am I passionate about the
Right.
game? No.
and I'm like super excited for Injustice 2, but I'm just not going to put in the time that's needed for it. Other various things. I'm not like I'm excited.
Tekken has my hopes up because I've got to play Tekken 7 so far. I think it looks fantastic. I'm super interested in the mechanics of going from all my 2D stuff, go back to a 3D fighter. I'd like to really do well in that. It looks like it's showing me the right things. Like it looks like they're building a full experience and releasing it on time, not a year early or broken or some other issues. If it does, I could see that getting all of my love, and I just drop everything,
Yeah, I
put my
could see
focus
that.
into Tekken, and just go forth with it. Because Tekken's one of the fight game franchises that I'm still passionate about the lore and the characters and the story.
Cool.
They're just like, oh, here's Kuma the bear, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like any other franchise did that, I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No,
No, I feel you there, dude.
Yeah.
So we've got, Tekken 7 on the horizon that you're probably going to dig into. What about other genres of games? Is there anything coming out that we've got big console releases coming out in 2017. So obviously the Switch, the end of 2017 is going to bring us Project Scorpio. I'm really excited to see what that brings, because that's really going to, I think, kickstart to console gaming to a whole nother level. I think, and I kind of want to ask you guys a question real quick. What do you think 2017 is going to bring us in terms of VR? Because we're all very passionate about VR tech. What's that? What's going to happen in the next year for that? Because right now the tech is kind of just floating in limbo. People have the PlayStation VR now that wanted to try it. It's it's there, but
does it just die there though?
The third person support, the third party support is still happening, but it's we're in like a weird limbo stage in VR, and PC gaming VR is very expensive still. So, what do you think will happen with VR in the next year?
Gordy, let it rip.
I do think we're going to get support in the game, and also I feel like it's going to expand out of games into apps. Obviously not the PlayStation, but I think that's going to be a big development that's happening, and I'm actually looking forward to that. We've got a taste of that with what was Microsoft's first VR-like thing?
Well, they have the HoloLens still.
HoloLens, which is more of like, it's not VR.
That's AR. That's augmented reality for sure.
Yeah. And I think that AR is definitely going to start.
I think
to off.
I think we're going to see some interesting things with AR. A couple of questions here. Rock Sox asks if I like King of Fighters 14. I downloaded the demo. I haven't booted it up yet. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't make an opinion. Scorpio VR. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Microsoft brings out for the with VR, because right now they're not.
That's a heavy hitter that has not thrown their hat in the ring yet.
Well, what's interesting about it is, so at E3 last year, Phil Spencer said, the Scorpio will be VR ready, and then that was the end of the talk of VR. Microsoft doesn't have any VR headsets. However, at that last Microsoft thing, they announced all these smaller VR headsets that will work. I can't remember the specs really, but they're really cool. So I'm like, I bet those are going to be compatible with the Scorpio. But then I also heard some things that Microsoft's putting their eggs in the AR basket. Not the Adam Ronin basket,
right?
But the augmented realities with like HoloLens type stuff. So I wonder if they're going to skip VR completely and go into a whole different kind of tech, which I'm interested in seeing. Which does scare me, because Chalice Evolved says, if we're being honest, VR is probably going to die out since no one is doing anything of worth with it. I kind of half agree and half disagree, because I think the future of VR does not exist in gaming. I think it's cool for gaming, but it's never, like we've talked about before, going to supplant your experiences now. But I think other things for VR are really educational purposes. Traveling.
Like the Google side of things, where they've been putting their investment into like the Google Cardboard. That's strong. That's going to stay for a long time. Those are very impactful. If you haven't played with like a Google Cardboard or like a Samsung Gear or something, you do that and then you explore the world. It's a superior learning experience than just looking at like a picture of Machu Picchu in a book. It's very in depth, and it kind of puts you in a perspective for something, whether it's a person, or if it puts you in perspective of a location or a war, whatever it may be. Learning the medical stuff that we saw was from Microsoft, wasn't it? When they were showing like the doctor training, and they had like the 3D model of
that was HoloLens.
Yeah, that was the HoloLens. Yeah. The applications of that for learning are priceless, because instead of just hoping people die to have cadavers, you can literally just take that same example and just go through that simulation over and over and over again, make mistakes and correct it, rewind, go back and forth through it. But I do want to ask, Chalice, what VR units have you played with too? Because for me, I think I could stand on the outside if I hadn't touched them, and I'm just like, they are what they are. But the first time I even played with Google Cardboard, I was like, whoa.
You're like,
that's
I'm
an
standing
experience
on fucking Mount Fuji.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which really doesn't even compare to VR with actual head tracking, where you're in the 3D space, because cardboard, you're in a fixed space and you can just look around.
Right.
But here you can like look at the fucking mic, and shit like that, and it's just unreal. And we can go on for days about VR, but Life on Mars. Hello, Marissa. She says, VR is going to be a huge impact in science, medicine, and education, and I couldn't agree more. And I think that's I think that's where the future of VR lies. I'm a little nervous on where it's going to go with PlayStation and Xbox because I think developers are just too nervous about putting something really solid out. All the big titles that have had, AAA potential for VR haven't been super great. Like Robinson the Journey was supposed to be, knocking it out of the park. That wasn't very well received. The one that I can confidently say I think is going to change the game, so to speak, for VR is Resident Evil 7.
Absolutely, yeah.
That the VR demo for that is by far the most scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, going through all the demos, I mean, the opportunity for like a submersive horror experience it's there. It's real. Like you feel fear. Batman is still one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had. Like you feel like Batman. I felt like I was scared to stand on a ledge because I was worried I was going to fall off, So the potential is there, and I hope that people throw some money at it and give it a chance, and they don't just remember like when PlayStation was like, oh, 3D TVs are the key, we're 3D ready, and then just fell right by the wayside.
Totally.
Games had a 3D mode, but nobody cared. Nobody invested in it.
And Rocksox actually makes a good point here as well. He says VR will probably go the way of motion controls, there for those who want it, but the game will have to be based around it. And that actually makes me think back to the Kinect. That was when they first announced Project Natal, which ended up being the Kinect back in 2009. I was like, holy fuck! I was like, the future is here.
Yeah.
I was super stoked.
No more controllers. We're good.
I was super stoked for the Kinect, and I was like on board with the Kinect. I pre-ordered it, and I was there, and I got it when it came out, and it blew my mind. And then nothing happened with it, And now it just sits, and it's there for me to be like, Xbox, record that clip so my friends can see this. It doesn't do anything. It does nothing.
The best experience on that game was dancing.
Yeah.
Like you had Kinect, and it was like you'd play like the dance games, and you're like, oh, this is the best this is going to get.
Yeah.
But nobody ever put into it. Everybody was like, man, I hope they put more into sports, and I hope they put more into shooters with this. And we just never saw development on it.
Yeah.
So there has to be something that entices people to get out there and get it.
Agreed. Marissa, I would be really curious to pick your brain on your HoloLens experience, as I don't know anybody that's played with it. I would love to know where you tried that. Don't tell me at Billy's GameStop, because we know that's never going to happen for us. But yeah, tell me, please. Put in the comments where you tried it and what your experience was like. I've heard a lot of bad things about the HoloLens, just in terms of the field of view is really small, and it takes you out of the immersion. I want to hear your opinion on that. So get to typing, girl. So yeah, I think interesting things can happen for VR, but I'm nervous about it because I think it's scary.
I just think I can speak for everybody in this office. We want to see more because we've loved what we've done so far.
But I mean, and that's the thing, and the cost is such an issue because
Cost and quality.
Everybody in the office is super on board with VR, but even you guys don't have them yet because it's just such a huge cost barrier to get through.
Right. And even when I considered purchasing one, then when we looked into the things of like, you can't use certain cloths, you can't use a chemical, it can't see sunlight. If you drop it, it's going to shatter. Then it's like, man, I've got kids, I got a dog, I got a puppy running around my house. The last thing I want is a puppy bumps into it and it's like $500 gone.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's some, that's a big deal. For sure. Yeah, you're not wrong.
There is VR porn. That's a strong thing, believe it or not. Like, all jokes aside, whenever porn puts any kind of investment into something, that usually pays off, aka Blu-ray or, VHS.
The thing about the porn, though, and
it's creepy.
I haven't tried it yet. I'll get to it. Bear with me. But
I've viewed it. I haven't tried it. Let's say that.
But it's just like Google Cardboard, right? Like you're just looking around, right?
Very
there's
POV
no 3D
cam.
headspace. Like you can't like lean in and look at the titty, right?
No.
So
no, everything that I've done so far is like a POV cam. And you can
you look down at your abs and stuff.
And it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's nice to have.
You're like, look how big my wiener is.
Yeah, but I did read a review of it, and they said that VR porn is just way too anatomical. It loses some kind of sexuality to it because you're like, and I experienced this the very first time. I put it on. I was like, oh, look at this. And I looked down and I was like, I should get that mole removed. But and then you get like a close up of things that it's just you're two in there, and then the one room I was in, I was like, oh, check this out, and I looked around and I was like, man, this is a room of sadness. It was like a weird drum set in the corner, and it was just like a really
Was there like a dude shooting up in the
just
corner?
a skanky porno room, you know. It was like, it wasn't like the cool luxurious set you would be hoping for. Like, you didn't see like a pool in the background of like a Beverly Hills home. It was like, man, this is like a janky ass experience.
Oh yeah, I like the janky porns because it makes it feel more real to me.
No, it was like too real. Like, you're like you have regret.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jordan?
Elite.
Jordan Elite.
Recognize.
Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, what up, dude?
Hello. Helicopter.
So yeah, there's all that. Game wise, I'm really excited about. There's a lot of titles coming out in 2017. I'm very excited about. First of all, I think that I can safely now say that I'm excited about the new Friday the 13th title, and that based on the 20 minutes of IGN footage, there's still some jankiness to it, but
Much more hope than the alpha, for sure.
yeah, it's improving, and I think it'll be worth the $30 I spent on it in Kickstarter 2 years ago. It seems like.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Been a while.
So that's coming out. What else is coming out? I know there was something I was excited about.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh fuck, Gordy.
Yeah.
You just made me so hard right now, dude.
I mean, I put a lot of thought and time in like the competitive side of things, and it gets stressful, and I grow to hate video games. So I'm actually hoping for a breath of fresh air with like things like Mario
And a Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Like, I want something that's like just there's no achievements,
Oh my
there's
God.
nobody watching me play. It's just me playing a game and having fun. You know.
Actually, I think honestly the thing I am most excited about, and now I'm confident in saying this, is the Switch and the launch of the Switch, the new Mario game, new Zelda game. But Gordy, I was reading that it's potentially delayed. Breath of the Wild, that it won't be a
July or
launch,
something like
that
that?
it won't
Yeah,
be a
it won't
launch
be a
title.
launch title.
I don't know. They haven't said that yet. We'll find out on the 12th. I guarantee that. But I'm so excited for the new Zelda and hopefully the new Mario, depending on what kind of offering they give me. But
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom for sure. Be all over the Infinite, but just probably for fun. I don't think
I'm not.
take
Oh,
that
I
game
can't, I'm not
serious
going to
or
compete
anything.
in that
Yeah.
community looks very hardcore. They're like,
Yeah, they're so dedicated. Marvel is like the most intense fans in the world, and they are they're battling it out today at NEC. I mean, like, they're still going after it after all these years in launch. So
yeah, I'm just going to. Yeah, new Metroid 2, right? Yeah, dream on, buddy.
Yeah.
There's two things. There's two truths in the world that I can tell you. Three truths. One, taxes. That'll always be a permanent truth. And two, there will never be a new Metroid that you're going to be excited about, and there will never be a new Mega Man that you're excited about.
Yeah.
These are all very sad truths. You could go play the Mighty Number 9. You want?
that's funny.
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn, that does look interesting. I'm not like a big fan of the weird Transformer dinosaurs that are running around. I wish there was just animals, like.
I wish they were just dinosaurs. That'd be cooler.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna play it, but whatever.
Cool. Well, we've been talking about Mario all night.
Okay, I feel you.
You feel that?
Yeah.
I think we should talk about it just a little bit more, but not Super Mario Run.
We are getting into the Classic Game Showcase.
Classic Game Showcase.
That's production right there, guys. That's production.
That's production.
You don't get that on other channels.
Oh yeah, back to real quick. Red Dead 2. I'm very excited about that. If that is indeed a 2017 release, that'll get delayed for sure. Okay, Classic Game Showcase. We're gonna do something different because we've actually been behind the ball on what we've been doing with Classic Game Showcase. Normally, we showcase a game, and then you vote on the game, and then we play it with you on Twitch. We haven't done that one single time yet, so we're gonna kind of start doing that again after the first of the year, and
It's been crazy, holidays and such.
and we'll catch up with the games we haven't played yet. The last two, I guess. So we're actually going to cover, just because Mario just came out on the phones, we're going to talk about Mario games, but we're going to dissect the worst offerings that Mario has had in his franchise and our biggest disappointments in the Super Mario history.
Maybe some hidden gems, things that aren't...
Hidden gems.
Like, we're not talking about, like, Mario 64. We're definitely not talking about, like, Mario 3. Like, we're going to go a little
Yeah,
deeper.
those are two of the greatest games of all time. These are the
Deeper.
games that fell short of expectations and or just strange offerings that maybe were only in Japan. We're just kind of go
Some
on and on.
oddities here and there.
Yeah,
Gordon?
it's not going to be one per person here.
You're quiet over there. You want to kick us off with something?
Yes. When I was a kid, I went to
When
the local.
Gordy was a
boy.
I went to the local video rental store and I saw a title that looked really interesting to me. And actually, you know what? I'm going to show a clip of it. I'm just going to switch over to it.
Switch over.
Describe it.
Yep.
Let me get it
Switch
ready
over.
here.
Can't write that stuff.
Okay. Let's
Full disclosure, I have never played this.
Oh, weird. Okay.
All right. So what do we got here, Gordy? What is
this
it?
is
Oh, look!
Mario is missing.
Chalice Evolved called it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's Mario's missing, calling it.
Oh yeah, that was great. Nice catch. Yeah, I went and got this game. I thought it was going to be some badass Super Mario game or something. And
Sistine Chapel.
what you do is you run around looking for Mario, answering questions about historical events to no end.
The first mistake that you had in this game is you were playing as Luigi.
This is actually the first Luigi title where you play with him, and then it's
Because Mario's missing.
Mario's missing, and I don't know, man. It's just a bad game. I was looking so forward to an action experience, and I got
that spear?
this.
Dude, this looks like Garbo.
And this was a DOS game that was ported over to console.
So, first of all, I have a hard time believing that you found this in a video rental store. Like, Blockbuster isn't going to carry this, you know?
Well, they didn't know either.
It was in like the hidden section.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan?
No, not a fan.
I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my god, I don't ever want to play this.
You said that you beat it, though? I also don't like that they reuse the Mario World sprites.
Yeah, well, in the NES version, it didn't use the Mario World sprites. They're a little different, but this is the SNES version of it.
Okay.
It sucked. It was very disappointing for my young child self.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
What about you?
No, let's go to Tim. I'm still thinking about mine.
So, yeah. Tick, 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 tick. So mine, and Gordy, you can pull up some footage of this as well. Mm-hmm. Mine was the sequel to, and I've never ranked my games, but I know which ones are like my top 5 all time. For me, Mario 64 is one of the greatest gaming experiences ever.
Hands down. Yeah.
I just can't still to this day get over how deep that game is, and you know how much was put into it, how much replay value there was. I myself have beat it several times, including on the reissue with DS, which had like multiple characters and stuff. So for me, I was so excited for the sequel to this, and it was on a new console, and there was all these shiny new graphics, and I was like, man, we're gonna get something special. We're gonna get a little ray of sunshine. And no, quite the opposite.
What did you Google?
You're next.
So, Super Mario Sunshine was not a bad game.
No, it was fine. I put Gordy and I together put in like 60 hours into it. Like we had fun with it, but it was short of what a traditional Mario experience should be because they were like, let's try something different.
Yeah, and overall, it was pretty much a letdown for me after doing 64, where like you were very reliant on yourself. There wasn't a lot of tools, and then all of a sudden they're like, here's this backpack and stuff, and I was like, I don't think I really want that backpack. And I didn't mind the styling, I didn't mind the graphics, I had no issues there. Gameplay felt fine. It just felt like off in a way that like it just didn't hit those expectations that I had established in my own head, whatever they may have been, for a sequel to Mario 64.
Yeah, I get that.
Got some gameplay footage there for us, Gordy?
So I want to...
Like, look at that. I mean, it looks like you're playing Mario 64.
Yeah, with better graphics.
Yeah.
So there's something that this game had, and I don't know if to this day this is just like broken game mechanic, but the reason we didn't finish it, because Gordy and I put in hundreds of hours in this game, even though I just said 60 hours earlier. I might be exaggerating.
That was just a day one play.
Yeah. But there was a part later on in the game. It was like Manta Ray Beach or something. You remember, Gordy?
Yep.
And you had to clean off the slime or whatever from Manta Ray Beach. And boy, like usually when you're playing with a group of friends and you're at a part that's hard, you keep just passing back and forth until one of you gets it. Mm-hmm. We've tried for like literally like 3 or 4 days coming back to it, and this part was unbeatable to us. And we had to stop playing the game. We could not get past Manta Ray Beach. I'm talking. I know
that
like
giant stingray boss. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe I don't remember. Pull it up.
I'll try and find it.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to see your tattoo, Gordy.
My tattoo.
Yeah, I posted on Twitter that you
Did
got
we have
that,
this on Game? We did. We had this on GameCube.
that you got that face tattoo of that dick.
What you post?
What are you talking about?
I gotta use clickbait, you know? I gotta get you
Clickbait,
people
yeah.
to come in somehow.
That's smart. Smart, yep. Yeah. See the one weird reason that Gordy's been gaming.
Number 5 will blow your mind. But yeah, we couldn't get past this part. Like, we tried thousands of times. And I know games get hard for me. I'm like, oh, it's the hardest thing ever.
Right.
Like the Batmobile tank battles and stuff.
Right, but those things are, I mean, those are like...
They're difficult. But
yeah, but those are like dramatic, funsy statements.
yeah,
Like, they're
but
things
this
that you could
this
get
is
through. They're
to
just a pain in the ass.
Hands down, the hardest moment in gaming for me. This is like triple Dark Souls hard. This part, we couldn't beat it. And you know how good Gordy is at Mario games.
Yeah. For those of you at home, you don't understand. Like, when it comes to like anything that is like a platform or even like a 3D platform type world, Gordy's on like another level. Mm-hmm. Like if there was some competitive thing to that, he would dominate in it.
Yeah.
if you devoted any time to
I think there probably is a competitive.
It's just like speed runs.
It's called The Wizard.
Are they holding another one of those anytime soon?
I don't know.
I'll call Fred
But
Savage.
he's definitely like the Fred Durst of. What's that kid's name?
I'm feeling as light as Fred Savage.
Fred Savage, yeah.
Billy agrees that this is the worst. The level or the game as a whole, because like the game wasn't bad. Like I think if I played it tomorrow, I'd still be like, all right, this is fun, this is cool.
Boy, I really.
But they got rid of the mechanics and stuff when they went to Galaxy
see.
because they didn't want like the dumb water gun anymore.
I know, and I just want to like shit on everybody right now. Like, I really want to say that Super Mario Galaxy is a disappointment for me, but I know that so many people are going to unsubscribe if I was to put that on my list, because that's like the holy grail, I guess, of Mario games for some reason.
I would just tell them they're wrong to their face. They're like, Galaxy's the best. I'm like, no, you're wrong. We just both told you you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's just
It
moving
is what
on.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it because actually I had a good time with Galaxy, and I never even played 2.
I just hated Super Mario Sunshine as a Mario game.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy quote of the century, for sure.
That's the best quote I have from Billy currently. So yeah, I'll put it up there. That's my number 1 Billy quote.
Yep. Good work, Billy. Boy, let me think.
Unsub called the cops. Cops are on their way, tracking our IP address.
I guess I'm going to go out and I'm going to choose another mainstream title, and then we'll get into some of the more awkward ones. But
Mario 3. Say it. Put it on blast for no
I
reason.
really was disappointed in Super Mario 3D World. That was the latest game. Let me tell you why. It felt like a subpar effort to just cash in on the Mushroom Kingdom without any real innovative design, nor any of the nostalgic callbacks that made you feel like you were really deep in a new Mario experience. It was, it just wasn't cool. It was a very half-hearted effort. And if you died too many times, they gave you a white Tanuki leaf that made you you could beat the level undefeated,
which is not how we gamed as kids for sure.
Yeah, that's
you died, and you went back to the beginning.
This is why kids
Call it
are a
day.
bunch of pussies right now,
Yeah.
because Mario developers are coddling them.
Are you saying Nintendo's just milking their iconic franchises? Surely not. You're definitely not saying that, I'm sure.
I like this guy; he's funny.
Yeah.
No,
It was.
Yes, so John, there it is. It felt hollow. There was no meat to the bones. Like Super Mario 64, you could play that game for thousands of hours and still not have seen some of the secrets. I feel like you could kind of get the most out of Super Mario 3D World in like 30 hours, and you're like, okay, that was cool.
Like everything. Like
Yeah.
you saw everything to it. And it was, I don't know, like why the change in difficulty? It's not like Mario games are like over the top hard.
Unless it's the Manta Ray Island or whatever.
Right. Which I still haven't seen. I'd love to see.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't find it.
You're dumb, fucking Gordy.
Aw, tear. Sniff, sniff.
He owes you $50 for an apology. We established that earlier.
Who does?
You owe him for
Me?
the
No.
for the apology.
Hammerheart owes him $50.
For the apology?
Yeah.
It's crazy. These
Manta
apology
Ray.
prices are steep.
I'm googling it. Manta Ray Island. Super Mario Sunshine.
Why did it pull up Super Bowl? That was the auto population? Like there was a Super Bowl played at Manta Ray Island and I missed that?
Maybe this is it here. I think I just found it, you dumb fuck. The
It
Mantis
was,
one?
literally within seconds.
Yeah, it's right here. I just found it, Gordy.
I would say for all of his talents,
Are you
I
talking
don't.
about this?
Is that Boss Battle Mana Storm?
No, that's an electric mana ray.
No,
it's
go
part
to, just
16.
type in Super Mario Sunshine Boss Battle Manta Storm. Boss Battle should be easy for you to Google.
Wait, this right here is not it. This is it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's the part.
Okay, so get that live on the screen here, Gordy, and we'll all take a look at it. Let's see if we can analyze this as a team. So there's the boss. Okay, this guy's cleaning up, picking up some coin.
Tell me what we're doing wrong here, Timmy.
This guy isn't doing anything wrong. He's probably going to beat it.
I would
Well, I
imagine.
mean,
I
he
would
wouldn't have
imagine,
put it on
yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, he just puts it on here. He's like just shrugs at the end of it. I got nothing.
Okay, so these guys are going down to the beach. Maybe this is something we never knew about.
Okay, those guys are easy enough to kill. Shoot them with water.
I mean, maybe this wasn't the part, but the slime
is
looks
it.
familiar.
This is definitely it. So,
And then clean up the little snail trail that they have left behind.
Lydia says, "We played this, Tim. I think I had to have you beat it for me." That sounds like a classic Tim moment. He always has to beat shit for me.
Did it for Super Mario Run earlier.
Yeah. Anyway, so this game sucks. Let's talk about some of the more obscure titles that a lot of people might not know about. Real quick, side note. Can we side note?
We can side note. We haven't side note in a long time.
Super Mario Paint,
Mm-hmm.
if you recall.
Yeah.
Did you see Cinemassacre did the entire intro to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Super Mario Paint?
No.
Gordy, pull it up and fucking put that on stream.
Yeah.
Let's promote a whole nother YouTube channel.
Yeah. Guys, there's way that are, there's so many that are better than ours. Yeah.
TMNT. Super Mario Paint.
okay.
It's Cinemassacre. You know who they are.
I do.
It's right there.
And that's
And
it.
give it a little bit of volume too, so people can get some. And now, feast your eyes on this and blow your minds. Took him 6 months to make.
There is a such thing as time better spent.
No, because how many views does this video have, Gordon?
A lot. 2,197,000. Oh, no, that's subscribers. 314,000.
Oh, is that it? Oh well. Anyway,
Well, let's make it 314,001 for these guys. It's impressive. It's truly impressive.
yes, I do remember the Fly Swatter game in Paint. They actually brought that Fly Swatter game back in
The
Mario Maker.
and the Wario thing. The Wario game had it as well. It was brought back in. It was like in the mini game.
I didn't.
I
Play
forget what
that.
that was. You never played the Wario games?
No, I think Wario and Luigi are dumb fucking characters.
No, it was like a rapid fire game. So it was like 20 mini games in a row in like 60 seconds kind of a thing. So it would like come up and you had to like pick his nose, and then the next thing was like a fly swatter, and the next thing it was like tap all the red dots, and it was like one of those types of things.
Okay.
I don't remember. I had it. I don't remember what it was though.
No, I didn't play that. Look at how sexy that dude is. These turtle boys don't cut no slack. They really don't, Hammerheart. They really don't. They don't. Yeah, Gordy, put something on screen. Entertain these people.
We're not doing it. That's your job as a producer.
What do you got there? What do you
What are you
got, boy?
pulling up? What do you got? What are you piping? What are you piping up? Here it comes.
Is this a Mario game I don't know about?
Yeah. All Night Nippon Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah, you were just talking about this. Tell everyone what you're looking at.
This is a Mario game that was released, sanctioned by Nintendo, with the faces of many of the characters and bad guys replaced by Japanese celebrities.
Oh, this is played by Shlolucci.
Oh, classic Salucci.
Yeah.
I love Salucci.
Yeah, that guy's cool. It's strange.
So everything here so far, pretty on the up and up.
Except for that. That
Except
Gooba
for
had
that.
a weird face.
Those are what?
It's some bald comedian, I'm guessing. I don't know. It's very strange.
But otherwise, there's
can't-
not a whole lot different to
No,
it.
there's like almost
So it's the
nothing
same
different.
game? It's just... Are you sure this is sanctioned and not just some weird mod?
No, I just... Look at that janky peach. What?
Is that what you say to women when you fucking lay down with them?
Look at that.
Look at that janky peach.
I want that to be a quote on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
This
It. That's we're gonna
Look at
release a
that.
new line of merch on
Look at that
r34media.com,
janky peach.
and that's gonna be one of the things.
just looks like a money grab for sure.
Yeah,
Actually,
that
it
was
looks
like a
just
regular-
like Super Mario Brothers.
Those are regular turtles. Those aren't celebrities.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Cool. Gordy,
Interesting.
you know what actually my favorite Mario game is? Let's talk about our favorites.
Okay.
Donkey Donkey Panic.
Do you want to see Doki Doki Panic or?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a real Mario game.
With Donkey Kong?
You don't know about Doki Doki Panic?
No.
Dog?
No, I don't.
Are you
Let's
fucking
see.
serious right now?
Not that I know of.
So Super Mario Brothers 2 that you know and love
Right.
is not Super Mario Brothers
Well,
2.
everybody knows that, and
It's
I don't.
Doki Doki Panic.
I don't love it, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's the original.
That's the game
yeah,
that it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Doki Doki Panic.
Oh, wait, I don't know.
The Super Mario 2 that you know and love.
Oh, wait.
No.
No. This
Oh wait, what?
is
What you looking at, buddy?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
At that moment, Adam Ronin looked down and went, "I'm on a screen. I'm on that screen too. Is this normal?
Holy shit!
People are watching.
Well,
I'm confused. Well, yeah, some
some.
5 or 6.
You got this shit going, Gordy?
Yep. It looks like this is on the disc system too. So
Oh, the disc system.
let's see.
You have it pulled up? You got
Yeah,
volume?
I'm letting
It's
it
in
load
the
up a
disc
little bit.
system.
Oh.
So the
I've
title
never
is
seen
obviously a little
footage
bit
for this.
different.
Actually, you know what we should do? Not right now, but another time. Is we should play Doki Doki Panic.
Oh
I
yeah,
never
we've got
played
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's
Okay.
weird is like early Nintendo games, all like the bad guy buildings were always very Russian. Like when you played Tetris and then like
Well, it's because
this
Tetris
or,
was
like,
a Russian game.
Well,
Well, yeah.
you know, like look
But
at-
you're like,
look
well,
at the
like
screen.
Tetris, you know, because
Yeah.
it's Russian.
Sorry, I don't have like a whole list. I was on the spot. So what was the main guy in this? What's the point of him?
Doki.
And he panicked. And he was panicking.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I just know.
No, this isn't Doki then, because that's the princess character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
So this is like Princess Doki.
this is this is Princess Onion or whatever. You know, 'cause
She's not the peach.
you get the joke, Gordy? She's not a janky peach.
She's not a janky peach. Get your janky
No, because,
peach in here.
I
Those janky
watched-
peaches. There's
I
janky
watched-
peaches all over.
Something one time that gave the history of Super Mario Brothers 2, and it was actually really good. Roger? What the fuck? This is blowing my mind.
Hold on.
You didn't know this? You didn't know this was a Super Mario Brothers 2? All right, let's talk about this. Super Mario Brothers 2 was not Super Mario Brothers 2.
No.
Super Mario Brothers 2 actually was very reminiscent of Super Mario Brothers 1, and it was just exponentially more difficult. They made it in Japan. It came out in Japan as Super Mario Brothers 2.
And then said it was too difficult for us silly Americans.
Yep,
to
and then
play.
when they were getting ready to port it over for America, they did some playthroughs, and they were like, "This is way too hard for American gamers. We need to come out with their
Fred
own Super
Savage
Mario
couldn't
Brothers
beat
2."
it. That was the
Fred
thing.
Savage
They
could
had-
beat it,
they had
yeah.
Fred Savage
Neither
tested
could Fred Durst.
with a power glove.
He
And
was like,
couldn't do it.
"Cheer, John Otto, take him to the Matthews Bridge." And so then they kind of were scrounging. We're like, we need to find something. And this game came out, and they're like, well, this isn't out in America. I'm paraphrasing my story here. And they're like, well, what if we just swapped all the characters for Mario characters? And they're like, we could do that in like a couple months. And they did it. And then it came out here as Super Mario Brothers 2, but it was actually Doki Doki Panic. That's why it was so fucking strange. Americans are casual shitters. John Nintendo, probably. This fucking guy's hilarious. Come hang out with more, Chalice. I want to fucking have your babies. You know? Out of my fucking disgruntled peach or whatever Gordy said.
Disgruntled peach. But yeah, then they released the real version of Mario 2 when they did the Mario World thing, right?
Yeah, but it's
The
called
Lost
Super
Worlds.
Mario but the Lost World.
Yeah.
The Lost Levels or whatever. Yeah. And it is hard.
Now, have you guys ever done like the what is it, like the negative world or whatever? The Mario one?
No. I mean, I know about it, but I never got the trick to work.
I did.
Of course you did.
I did.
You got all the stars in Mario 64 too.
I remember trying it for like legitimately thousands of hours,
Oh God, yeah.
and it didn't work. And then I watched like a YouTube video on it, because that was on the thing when I was gaming.
I was
as a
gonna
kid.
say, what do you
There
mean
was
you
no-
watched a
there was no
YouTube video?
So then I watched like how to do it, and it gives like the best step-by-step instructions. And even then, it still is not like a foolproof thing to do. And once I finally pulled it off, and then I played it, because it's just a water world, and it just
Which are the worst worlds that-
endlessly loops. It's not actually worth getting to. It was just like one of those things you have to achieve.
Is it a real secret or was it like a glitch?
Watch, he's gonna pull it up here now.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
Because I know you'd like do something funky, right?
Yeah. So
It is a glitch, isn't it?
well, yeah. I mean, the way that he has to bounce backwards through the wall.
I remember
So
reading.
watch, you like kind of like crouch down and get like a little weird backwards jump out of it.
You gotta, yep,
Watch.
bonk, and you do this for like 4 hours.
Well, you only have 300
Oh, I
seconds.
remember jumping at this for like just on loop, because you'd go through all your lives and then you'd have to reset and start over. Because remember, this is where people would typically run across the top because you would get the
you
warp.
go to the warp.
But
yeah.
watch.
Well, he's not doing shit.
What's happening?
And you go on that for.
Do they? It's not labeled. It's just -1. So it's not a glitch. Like it's programmed in there.
It is actually a glitch. I'll read about it here in a second. And let everyone.
Drop some Mario history lessons here.
It's a glitch caused by the way NES handles numbers. Is
Oh,
that just
there you
another
go.
classic Chalice
Sounds
Evolved quote, or is that a fact?
No, it sounds legit.
X-Files theme.
But I did it, and then I played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, well, did that.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing rewarding to it once you do it. But it was just like the hunt, because everybody was like, no, there's a secret level, and I'm like, there's not. Prove it. Nobody could prove it. And it was like one of those like long-standing gaming rumors.
Because unless you had like a Nintendo Power or something that talked about it, that shit was just myth.
It was-
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
fucking
Oh.
cutting off heads in Tenchu 2. You couldn't do it.
Like little Johnny would go to school and be like, guess what I did? And he's like, I went to this world. I'm like, yeah, right, dude.
No joke. In 1994, I convinced everybody that you could do a nudality in Mortal Kombat 2. And they were like, how? And I wrote out like this extremely comprehensive, like fucking
3-page long thing.
yeah.
That like,
and I was like, but you have to do it in the 3 seconds they give you in the fatality timer. You got to be bonkers fucking fast at it. It's not true.
but every time they would do it, they're like, sorry, bro. You're not
But I
fast
was
enough.
so revered as a the MK2 guy back then that everyone's like, holy fuck, Adam Ronin found a nudality.
He
And
did it.
They spent hours at the arcades trying to do this nudality that I wrote out for everybody. And then fucking Greg Morrill, this piece of shit, he works at Walmart now, if that surprises you.
Oh,
He came back.
Rest in peace, Greg.
He came back like a week later. He's like, dude, I fucking pulled off that nudality. But I knew he was lying because I made it up. But I was like so deep in my web of lies that I was like, fuck, dude. And then forever, it was me and Greg Morrill that did the nudality. We're the only 2 people.
So Greg's a liar.
Oh, Greg's a hardcore liar. He's a piece of shit.
Greg? God damn it.
Yeah.
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 So let me
Yeah, go
enlighten
ahead.
your brains. The Minus World is a glitch level found in Super Mario Brothers. You're gonna love this line, and is arguably regarded as the most famous glitch in the video game history. Interesting.
Why would I love that line? Because it's
Because you didn't really know much about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So it's just saying, oh my god, this is way too involved to read all of, but it is actually a glitch. It is not like a legitimate level. They intend
Yeah,
people to
Chalice
get
is
to.
fucking laying it out all right here on that, why it's a thing. The negative numbers are so the game doesn't freak out if something breaks. Yeah, I don't know. And in other words. So that's cool, Gordy. Good fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, solid fact.
Wikipedia.
Actually,
Yeah.
honestly, I've never read this. I'm going to leave this open for later.
Yeah. Don't do it right now, though.
And I brought it up. But
Good call. Good call, Combo. Anyway, this is going on far too long. This is a very long stream.
it's far too long.
Yeah, far too long.
Not too long.
So, yeah, maybe we'll start wrapping up. Anyone have anything they want to bullshit about? Put in the old Kiznaments. Hammerheart, if you want to apologize more, that'd be fine.
But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out with us, guys, during
Yeah.
the arduous year of 2016.
Yeah, we'll see you we'll see you next year. Videos will be the same. We got videos coming out and stuff. There's a video up now that none of you watch, so go watch that. There's a video coming out tomorrow that none of you will watch, so go ahead and watch that.
Continue sharing all of our stuff so that more people see it and continue to grow and get huge. Not so big that we become celebrities and then we just die like everybody else.
Get so big that when we don't buy reserved tickets and I go to the theater, they're like, "Oh fuck, sorry, dude. Here's your private screening."
Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Ronin.
Yeah, I'm like, you should be. Fun fact: I used to work at that theater. I got a lot of HJs up in that projectionist booth. If you want to be real with it.
Surprise. Surprise.
They were mostly given by himself, but
He's not wrong. Anyway, cool. Well, we're gonna peace on out. I want to indulge in some video gaming with my friends. Good old Timmy Combo has not yet played the VR X-Wing mission, and I feel like you should.
Well, we actually have to combine our strengths in order
With
to
our
achieve that.
combined strength, right, Gordy?
Right?
That's not true.
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
Shall we?
Yeah, Gordy, play us out. Say some fucking things, and don't because you always is like, oh, you know what this is? This fucking stream has been. Nope.
Letter K.
That's there. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
It's been fat. It was a fat stream.
All right, kids. Thanks
All right.
for everything.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Nippy.